Good Friday morning. Today we are going to look at data generator for node.js that allow us to generate data by using Typescript decorators. I'm Stefan and you are watching Dev. Let's talk about data generation. So, for example, I used to waste a lot of my time writing fake data for my test, my application, or everything. It was so annoying and I decided to not do that anymore. That's why I found a solution to do that and I will give it to you now. In that way, it will be easier for you to generate data. You will not waste your time anymore. So let's do that. Just open your favorite text editor and you will start. Let's see that in a real project. So for example, I have a project with two entities, like a user that is the owner of some animals like dog, cat and everything, and another entity that is animals that has race, type and name. So the goal of what we are going to do today is to implement this test and make it green again. So the problem here is that my test is making a user, and I expect the user animals to be one animal and that the name of the animal is not empty. So for that, in the classical way to do that, we have to write a lot of very boring things, like we have to instantiate the user, to give the user a first name, to instantiate an animal, to give a name to the animal, to set the animal to draw animals array, and to import fakerJS. In that way, we are asking fakerJS to give a fake name to the user. We are doing an animal, we are making an animal, we are instantiating an animal here, setting the name, set the animal to draw, and check our test, and it works. So it's a very simple case. It's a very small object, so at the minimum it's possible to do that like this, but it's so boring to always write all this kind of information. The goal here is to skip that and use generating data to generate data for that. So let's do it. In order to do that automatically, we are going to use the Typescript data generator. So for that, you just go to your project and we will add the dependency. The dependency is fstn/typescript data generator, and we will need it at dev. So we are going to use our Typescript data generator to generate a first name for our user Joe. So let's do it. So let's try to import the decorator generate from the library and use it on the property first name. Okay, so what is asking generate? Generate is asking for a scope. So we will see that later. For the moment, we can put test or something. And after that, is asking for a callback with the context. It's going to be a callback, and we want it to return Joe. Okay, let's check our test, and our test is like this, and we will change it to test if the first name is empty or not. So now our test failed because Joe first name is not set. But you will ask me, we put like something here to generate it. Yes, but we have to use it in our test. So in order to do that, we'll just do like a get of test new user like this, and we are going to import get from our library. And now we can see that Joe first name is defined, and we can check that Joe first name is Joe, and it works. So yeah, it's amazing. So next move, we are going to continue and to define the last name. For that, we are going to use the faker library. So we can just ask faker. So going to import from fakerJS, and we are going to use faker last name dot name dot last name, and it's going to generate last name for Joe. Let's test it here. If you want to be sure, I can print Joe here. So we can see that here we have a first name, but we have something wrong with our last name. What's wrong? It's because like we want to use faker directly, we can just put like the faker property here. And in that way we have now Joe JRD, and if I refresh it, we have no Joe Waters. So it's amazing. So let's try to do the same with animal. So for animal, it's kind of different. We have to fake it, but we can't set it as a last name or faker something. We have to implement it. So for that, we will do like something very simple. Just here, we will call the getter from our library, and we will put the scope, say that we want a new animal with the current context, and in that way it's going to generate automatically an animal for Joe. We can now go back to our test and remove the animal declaration here and everywhere. It's not going to work because I have to set that I want it at an array, because animal is an array. Let's check the test, and now the test failed because the animal is undefined. Don't know why. It's because we didn't use our generate here. So for the test, we will just generate like a name for the animal like this. Let's say that the animal needs a first name and a last name. Let's import faker to fake it, and now you can see that like our user has an animal that is cause. What if we want this user to be a dog? If we want this user to be a dog, we can just do that and say like context scope, and it will return dog. And now we can see that glitch relation, the Joe animal is a dog. Okay, but it's like a kind of static. We want the animal, the kind of animal, to be like moving all the time. We want to be able to set like that Joe as a dog or a cat, depending on the test we want to do. For that, we can just say that we will return the context animal, and in our test here we will set an animal to the dog. And our test will be that we want the type of the animal to be a dog. We are generating a fake user with a dog. Let's imagine now that we want to implement a second test with a cat. So we are going to say that the animal is now a cat. Our second test now is we want Joe to generate a cat. And let's try the test again. And we can see now that in the first test here we are generating a Joe, and Joe animal is a dog. In the second test, Joe animal is a cat. So it's amazing, and you see how simple is it. You just have to call this, and it's very simple to do. You can also externalize that in const get fake equal and use it here and here, okay, to generate your fake data. So in this video we were able to generate fake data by doing nothing, just using declarative way to do that here. And let's summarize. In this video we saw how to turn writing fake data into generating fake data using the Typescript data generator. We saw a very simple example with a user that own animal, and we saw how easy it was to contextualize the data. For example, we were able to do a test for a dog, a test for a cat. It's a very simple way to see it, but it's kind of a way to do what you want with the data. If you like the video, click on the like button. If you have more questions, post a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I will do new video all the time about node.js, about development, and it's going to be a good way for you to learn new things. See you soon.